So throughout my fitness journey, my weight loss journey, my body recomp journey as a shorter woman, I'm 5'1", there's been these healthy swaps that I have made over time that I now realize have really helped me lose the fat, build the muscle, tone up, and stay that way. And today I wanna share what those biggest, most impactful, effective swaps have been over the span of the journey so that you have a cheat sheet to doing them yourself. This is something I never really thought about until I sat down to make this video, and I thought, wow, there's all these things in my house, there's all these different types of things I eat or ways I think about things than back when I was 10 pounds heavier, and why haven't I just made a list so that you guys can have kind of a quick shortcut to not losing the weight, because there's no shortcut for that, but understanding what are some of the things that you can do today, the easy, quick swaps to help you get started and on track with your fitness goal as a petite. So in today's video, I'm sharing 22 things that I have swapped that you can swap as well. And just keep in mind, I did these over time. Some of them are even recent changes. So this was since 2014, 2015 to now, not overnight. And it'll take time, as it does with anything, to really change your body composition. So just to paint a picture of where I used to be 10 pounds heavier, 125, I'm 5'1", and I was working a corporate job before I became a personal trainer, before I became a nutritionist, but I was Olympic hopeful. So even though I was struggling with my weight and my eating choices and just everything with my relationship with my body, I was also a competitive athlete at the highest level trying to make the Olympics in the sport of fencing. Some of you guys have heard this story before, but I'll keep it short. Basically, back then, I just remember kind of not having a plan for anything. Like, I kind of just ate whatever was in front of me, whatever was around the office. But because I always ate small amounts, like I ate like a bird, I just always thought, okay, well, this can't be why I'm gaining weight or why I've gained weight. I eat well and I don't eat a lot. So I didn't really think that was the problem. However, I wasn't getting the right kinds of foods that way, because not all food is created equal. It's not just about the quantity, but also the quality. And then secondly, I had all these terrible symptoms that were happening in my life at the time, like extreme exhaustion and fatigue, lethargy, chronic stomach aches. I mean, so bad that at one point, it was like a normal experience for me to go into the bathroom where I used to work and literally like go into the handicap stall and lay on the floor, because any other position was too uncomfortable for me. Like the clothes I was wearing to work, it wasn't the clothes, it was obviously my digestion and my nutrition and my health and all of that. But it was all having like these awful symptoms. Aside from just carrying excess fat that I didn't feel confident about, I had these physical symptoms as well. Now I know, as a petite woman, your weight loss comes down to a few really important major things: your food quality as well as quantity, your movement, your sleep, and your mindset. So these 22 swaps will address not just nutritional swaps, but mindset swaps, lifestyle swaps, little easy swaps you can make to help reverse the skinny fat, start burning fat, without having to change everything in your life. Just little things you can do. The reason why I'm expanding it beyond food is you can make all the food swaps in your life that you want, but if you still have a shitty mindset, you are not going to lose the weight because you're going to self-sabotage. So I've included the swaps beyond just food here that have helped me lose the weight and keep it off in the long run. By the way, my name is April. If you're new here, welcome. I make content for short women, 5'4" and under. I am a certified personal trainer and nutritionist, and me and my team of registered dietitians, accountability coaches, and personal trainers help you transform your body in our program, Petite Power Premium. We have our August session kicking off soon. So if you want to work with me and my team, you can apply below. But also, if you just want the plan, if you're not looking to do a 3-month program, you just want to get started on your own, I'm teaching and hosting a completely free hour-and-a-half long masterclass on the petite body type, just to get you started and set up with understanding what's different about your body as a petite and what the fitness, nutrition, and mindset protocols should look like for you. So how to eat, how to train, how often, how much to eat, all these things. I'll give you the plan in that free training, which is happening soon. I have 2 live sessions that I teach with a Q&A at the end. So if you want to do that, grab your seat. It's totally free and you can RSVP here and in the link below. P.S. If you have not come to this before, I've been teaching this for years. It's literally life-changing, and that's not hyperbole. So come check it out and you will not regret it. It's super fun to meet all the short girls in our community and learn something while you're at it. Okay, anyways, without further ado, let's get into the 22 swaps to reverse your skinny fat. I don't know, that sounds weird to say because like you don't reverse skinny fat, but you guys know what I mean, right? Like we're just burning fat with these tips and we're building muscle and we're just replacing like unhealthy habits with healthier habits that are easy. Okay, anyways, number 1, my first swap. This was the one that started it all, okay? It was swapping out my caffeine, or I should just say my coffee addiction, with something slightly healthier for me, which was matcha. Now, I should start by saying that coffee I drink today, I was able to reintegrate it back. But when I was drinking coffee, I had chronic stomach aches. I drank like 3 a day. It was just so much acidity. And because of how crappy my nutrition was, it was like leading to blood sugar crashes and high anxiety, which would cause me to stress eat. So the very first change that I made, and it had a cascade effect on everything else, was I quit coffee. Now, you don't need to quit coffee, but if there is something in your life that is this equivalent for you, or it just does not make you feel good, I encourage you to just try swapping it with something else. Don't try to cut it out. That's very hard to do, but try swapping it. I think the reason why I love matcha is because it gives you, because of the L-theanine, it gives you like a slower release of caffeine so that you're not just like jolted by like the coffee shakes. And this like also proving to myself that I could just stop drinking coffee or I could switch it for something else gave me confidence, and it pretty much stopped my stomach aches, which was crazy for me at the time. Like I was in so much pain every day drinking coffee. I didn't know coffee was a problem. So my first healthy swap is if you have a type of drink or caffeine that you're totally addicted to, try swapping it for something healthier. I personally love matcha and I think it's a great alternative. And this here is jade leaf matcha. I also love Ippodo matcha as well. Those are my favorite brands. Second on the list is sweetener, sugar versus monk fruit. I swapped out sugar as sweetener as well as like stevia and more processed sweeteners for monk fruit drops. Let's break it down. So sugar is a carbohydrate. Obviously it is a refined sugar. It is not, it is basically just giving you empty calories when you add it to things like coffee or mostly coffee, right? But if you add sugar to anything, like it's just adding calories without giving you much nutritional value. I switched to monk fruit drops. This is a natural sweetener that comes from the monk fruit. It is just an extract. It has no calories, but it doesn't have that like gross, like artificial taste that stevia does. So I really like this and I use it in a lot of things. I put it in my matcha, I can put it in a yogurt bowl, I put it in my oatmeal, and just a few drops goes a really long way. This is something that has stuck with me for a long time, and I think that it has helped me just stick to like satisfy my sweet tooth without having to eat tons of sugar, aka tons of calories that make me feel like garbage. Like the sugar has a lot of calories that we don't need, but on top of that, we all know sugar is like poison in excess. It can really cause a lot of problems in your body, your gut health, your brain fog, everything. So just finding ways to reduce your processed sugars, and if it's a swap, great. If you can cut it out, great. But again, swapping is always easier than just cutting out. So I use monk fruit drops. I think this is one of the best, easiest swaps you can make today to have a healthier diet and just in general consume less processed sugars on a day-to-day basis, but still get your sweet tooth fix. Next up is sodas, juices, and diet sodas versus seltzer water or slightly healthier versions of sodas like Olipop. I like ending a meal with a seltzer water. I do this instead of having sodas. I never was a big soda drinker in the past, but I would go for a Diet Coke once every now and then, and I've just completely stopped doing that. I don't see much benefit in drinking those. But seltzer water, it's 0 calories, it's refreshing, it's, a healthier option than sodas. And also Olipop is also kind of a soda. Has like prebiotics and, plant fiber and stuff like that. And it's only 45 calories in a can versus like, I don't know, it must be like 250 calories in a soda. I also replaced any juices I drink with this. Like, I'm not just drinking OJ out of my fridge. Again, a lot of sugars in that. So seltzer water has also been something I switched to, and it has stuck. Number 4 is pink Himalayan salt versus table salt. Table salt's processed. Pink Himalayan salt, still processed, but a lot less processed. And the reason why I switched to this is because it has more minerals in it. Now, salt is really important. Salt is an electrolyte, meaning it helps you keep hydration in your body. So if you just drink water, that's like step 1 to hydration, but you need salts, electrolytes, to stay hydrated and like deliver the hydration throughout your body. And pink Himalayan salt has more minerals, more electrolytes in it than an iodized or just like a random table salt, a regular white salt. So I switched to pink Himalayan salt a while ago, and I just think it also tastes better. This is one of the swaps that I did early on, and I still do it today. Number 5 is seed oils versus olive oil. Seed oils have been in the news a lot lately. Seed oils are typically canola oil, vegetable oils, soybean oil, sunflower oil, rice bran oil, cottonseed, safflower oil. These oils have been linked with inflammation and disease, and overall, they just don't feel good for me. I do cook with olive oil, and I also switched to a spray bottle rather than free pouring. So as a petite, this will help you because olive oil is a healthier oil, first of all. Second of all, olive oil is in general very high in calories because it's a fat. So it has 9 calories per gram versus protein and carbs, which have 4 calories per gram. And if you're just free pouring olive oil while you're cooking, you're gonna rack up a lot of calories that you might not need. So the spray helps me with portion control and volume, and it's also great for like spraying lettuce and salads and making those dressings without just, again, free pouring. Another really big pro tip here with olive oil. So fast food chains, for example, Chipotle, might be a good option, right? A lot of their ingredients are good. But the issue with some of the fast food or even restaurant food is that they cook with these seed oils, and you can't control that. So even if you get the healthy option when you order out, you're probably still getting, meat that has been cooked in seed oils. And you can Google your favorite fast food chains and look at what oil they cook with. For example, Chipotle cooks with rice bran oil, which is inflammatory. So again, it's just another good reason for you to cook at home, which is another one in this list. But we can't really control how fast food chains or even restaurants are cooking our foods, but that is going to impact the calories that are in your food, as well as how you feel in terms of like inflammation and bloat and digestion. Pro tip from a nutritionist. I will also say a couple things. When you check the back of a nutrition label, look at the oil that it's cooked with. You can choose potato chips that have olive oil or potato chips that are cooked in safflower oil. Most of them are gonna say safflower oil. Try to choose the oil that is less processed. Try to choose an oil that's gonna make you feel good. And by the way, not to demonize oils. If you feel okay eating the processed oils, then rock on, girlfriend. But I'm just saying this was a swap that helped me a lot with getting my bloat and inflammation under control, was making sure the oils that I eat and consume, whether it's a bag of chips or cooking at home, is actually a good high quality source of cooking oil. Number 6, man, this was a one I switched to early on in my weight loss journey and my fitness journey, which was switching from drinking juices to drinking smoothies. Now this one's not about calories because actually smoothies have more calories than juices. This is about fiber. When you drink a juice, like remember when juice cleanses were all the rage, like 2017, people were like just drinking juice as their only form of sustenance, which is like a freaking nightmare. I can't believe I tried to do a 3-day one once and I couldn't make it. It was horrible. Let me know in the comments if you've tried a juice cleanse and failed miserably like me. Juice is just sugar, okay? Yes, it has vitamins and minerals from orange juice and whatever. Even if it's a fresh juice, that's awesome. The problem is it's just straight up carbohydrates and sugar, and it's just going to raise your blood sugar levels, raise your insulin levels, the stress hormone, also the fat storing hormone, and not help you with your weight loss goal. When you eat a smoothie, they're putting a whole fruit in there, okay? So the like husk of the fruit, the banana, the actual mass of the fruit's going in, plus the juices. So you get the good stuff, you get the antioxidants, you get the minerals and vitamins, but you also get the even better stuff, which is the fiber. That's the type of carbohydrate that your digestive system is gonna use to actually like bulk up your poo and like keep you healthy and regular. Fiber is also not counted in terms of calories. It's literally, it goes through your body without being absorbed. So you're adding, yes, more calories, but not bad ones. These are good calories that your body needs to digest properly, to lower your blood sugar response, to lower your insulin response, and keep your body in fat burning mode. So smoothies, much better option than juices. And I'll go a step further to say that make sure your smoothie has at least 20 to 30 grams of protein in it. Add a protein powder to it or something and just make it a substantial meal. Number 7 is iPhone versus Kindle at night. So I used to read on the Kindle app on my phone at night. And one thing I switched in the last 5 years was I was gifted by my mother a Kindle, and I read it at night, and just eliminating the blue light. Listen, I'm not a blue light, I'm not one of those blue light people who like freak out about it and wear the glasses. I don't have any special fancy things, but I will say, as annoying as it is to actually have the discipline to do this, just reading on a different surface every night helps so much with my sleep quality, and sleep quality is a huge determinant in your weight maintenance and weight loss. So if you want to improve your sleep, but you got the scrollies like me at night, switch to a Kindle, switch to a Surface, a tablet that it's not gonna have blue light so that you can actually sleep good. Ooh, this one is so big. Peanut butter versus powdered peanut butter, or nut butter versus powdered nut butter. Okay, we need to have a heart to heart. Okay, we need to have a little discussion. Sometimes people come to me and say, April, should I add peanut butter to my smoothies and oatmeal because it's such a good source of protein? And as a nutritionist, I can tell you right now, peanut butter and nut butter in general is not considered a good source of protein at all. It is actually very high in fat while not being very high in protein. Now, remember, fat has 9 calories per gram, whereas carbohydrates and protein have 4 calories per gram. So anytime a food is higher in fat, which nuts are just fats pretty much, anytime a food is higher in fats, it's not going to be a good source of protein because you're getting lots of calories for not a lot of protein. Especially for petite women, this is huge because I don't know about you guys, but I can eat like an entire jar of peanut butter, and I know that's like a flex because it's pretty impressive, but it's not good for the waistline, you know, or the stomach aches. It's not good for actually any part of my life to eat that much peanut butter. So when I switched to powdered peanuts, this changed my life, you guys. This is PB2. I like the crunchy crunch. I know that's controversial. You can get regular, but I like a little crunch. And the only ingredients in this are roasted peanuts, sugar, and salt. I will say I didn't know this one had sugar in it, so I don't love that. It's not a lot of sugar though. It looks like it's just 2 grams. It's less than 1 gram of added sugar. So it's pretty, like, it's not a big deal. They do make though PB Fit. I've tried a bunch of these, so I know that other ones are literally just the only ingredients are the roasted nuts and salt, and that's all you need. You mix this with a little water and it becomes a paste. It tastes just like peanut butter. You just don't have all of the oil and the fat. It's just the nut, which makes it actually a good source of protein, and it's lower calories. So this is great for adding to smoothies. I add it to my oatmeal. You can just make a paste and put it on a rice cake or on bread, PB&J, whatever you like, girl. This stuff has changed my life. I'm not even joking. And I started switching this out once I realized, oh my gosh, peanut butter is not helping. This was the swap I made so I can still have this and still enjoy peanut butter and have it be doing work for me. You know what I'm saying? Just to put this into perspective, a serving of peanut butter normally has 16 grams of fat. That's 145 calories from fat, and only 6 grams of protein, which is 25 calories from protein. So it's just way too high in fat, especially if you're a petite woman. You don't need to be racking up all your calories through such a small amount of food that it takes up so many calories in your day. It's not gonna help you stay satiated or feel full. Number 9, any type of regular yogurt versus Greek yogurt. Now, I used to just think all yogurts were created equal. I remember 6 or 7 years ago or 10 years ago, whenever it was, I would just grab like a Yoplait or a Dannon or whatever was, you know, available, thinking, well, yogurt is yogurt. I was very wrong. Now, if you look at the nutrition label of a regular yogurt, like a Yoplait or a Dannon or something, whatever, insert generic yogurt name, it's just a regular like low-fat yogurt. It's gonna have like 3 grams of protein and mostly just be like carbs and fat. But if you look at Greek yogurt, I'm pretty sure this is not a secret anymore, but especially non-fat Greek yogurt, you're looking at 16 grams of protein in a serving and lower in carbs and no fat. Or you can do a partially fat yogurt, that's fine too. But I switched to yogurt, a Greek yogurt, and that changed a lot for me. And I just use this as my default. I sweeten it with monk fruit drops if I do want sweetener, or add real fruit. Like, don't buy the Chobanis unless you really love it, you know, do you? But I wouldn't buy the Chobanis that have like fruit at the bottom, or like these are refined, processed, preserved fruits. You could just add some fresh fruit and it will be so much better for your digestion and your weight loss goals. I also use Greek yogurt in place of things like mayonnaise, in place of sour cream. You can make it really versatile and avoid having to just eat like really processed high fat mayo. So it's a versatile thing, but I love non-fat Greek yogurt. It's been a great swap. Number 10 is bought dressings versus homemade dressings. This here's a dressing I had in my fridge that I don't know when I bought it, but even just this one, I remember like looking for a dressing in the grocery store. If you look at the nutrition labels, you'll see they all have like, you know, this one has 9 grams of fat and 2 tablespoons. That's like a meal's worth of fat, and I'm probably eating other fats in that meal. It's just gonna put you way over your fat goal as a petite. And if you can just make a basic, you know, balsamic vinaigrette, like take your olive oil spray, take some red wine vinegar or some balsamic vinegar and create, you know, add salt and pepper and a squeeze of lime or lemon, you'll have an amazing dressing. You don't need to buy the processed dressing. So dressing was something I swapped. I also don't order dressing on my salads when I eat out. I'll get it on the side and like drizzle it, or just ask for like olive oil or, you know, just vinegar, just something simple to avoid the calories and just getting full on something that's not adding any nutritional value to your day. Number 11 is regular bread versus Dave's Killer bread or a Sprouted or Ezekiel bread. It doesn't have to be Dave's Killer brand, but I used to just eat like whole wheat bread, and it's basically just empty calories, processed, refined wheat. Dave's Killer bread, or, you know, a Ezekiel or Sprouted bread is going to have a lot more protein in it and, more importantly, fiber. Yes, it's still a processed bread, but I find it's a better swap in terms of getting more protein in my day, getting more fiber, and it's also a little bit less processed. So it's a little bit better, but not to demonize foods. Not all processed foods are like the worst thing. You should still, you know, eat 80-20, meaning 80% of your foods are whole, 20% are fun, processed foods, those types of things. But this has been a really good swap for me. Number 12 is granola versus muesli. I used to put granola on like huge amounts of it on anything. I would even eat it as cereal, and it's just so much sugar. It's so much processed refined sugars. If you switch to muesli is mostly just oats. It doesn't have a lot of added sugar usually. It's maybe some raisins, some seeds, and it tastes great, and it's also gonna have more fiber and less processed sugars in general, and the calories are going to be vastly different. So granola versus muesli is a great swap. Dried fruit versus fresh fruit. So I used to eat like little snack packs, like those little like gummy, like what are those, fruit snacks, or like even just raisins or dried cranberries or anything dried. I thought it was healthy because it was dried fruit. The problem is when they dry fruits, they actually process them and add tons of sugars on top of the sweet deliciousness that a fruit already is. It doesn't make sense, but that's what they do to preserve it. So I switched from eating those packaged goods to just like, if I want fruit, I just eat the fruit, eat the banana, eat the strawberries, eat the whatever, but just swapping your dried fruits for fresh ones is a huge win. Number 14, pasta versus chickpea pasta. Just kidding. I couldn't even say that with a straight face. Okay, you guys, I've seen a lot of people say that they like stopped eating pasta and they started eating like Banza. No shade against Banza, but this is one of the swaps like I never did. I never got into like red lentil pasta or chickpea pasta. If I'm gonna eat pasta, I'm gonna eat pasta. All right? Like, don't judge. If you like those pastas, go for it. They give me gas. So I just stick to pasta, and we don't touch pasta night. We don't touch Italian meals, okay? We let them be because they are perfect the way they are. Number 15, moving into a little fitness thing, cardio versus strength training. Now, I've made so many videos about this, but my whole body composition completely changed in 12 weeks You can see the photos here. When I switched from running my ass off for miles a day to just strength training. I stopped doing all the cardio. I picked up a pair of weights and then eventually barbells, and my body composition completely changed. So that's a huge swap that you can start doing. If you want a free guide to how to get started with weights, you can check out my free 7-day workout plan for petites below. It'll get you started, set up, etc. Highly recommend starting to make that switch, dip your toes in. Number 16, I'll take that a step further. Body weight and bands versus actual weights. I find that body weight, like Pilates or, bands, I was using those because I was afraid of building muscle. I was afraid I was gonna look bulky. It works the opposite way. You start building muscle, you start to lean out. If you have struggled with the opposite of that, let me know in the comments. But generally speaking, the bands and the body weight's not enough to really build muscle. It's not doing a lot. So really make sure you choose like some weights, heavy weights, use progressive overload, dumbbells, barbells, etc. Number 17 is alcohol versus mocktails, okay? I didn't stop drinking alcohol, okay? I lowered the amount I was drinking for sure, but when I first was losing weight, but today I pretty much only have like one alcoholic drink a month out to dinner. Otherwise, I love having a cute little mocktail or just ordering seltzer water and lime with some bitters in it. And that it feels like a cocktail. It feels like you're participating, feels like you're in the social hour, and it looks like an actual alcoholic drink. So you kind of blend in if you're nervous about that. Having a seltzer water with lime will do the trick, or even make it a rule for yourself if you're trying to cut back on alcohol to do every other. So you have an alcoholic beverage, next one is a seltzer water with lime, then alcohol, seltzer water with lime. You know what I'm saying? Really helps it cut back the volume. Number 18 is snacks versus meals. I used to just eat snacks as a way of life. You know what I'm saying? I would just go through the day snacking on whatever was available to me in the office, whatever anyone brought in, whatever anybody was offering to me. And I would just eat like a bird on it and hope that I wouldn't gain weight, hope that I'd magically lose weight. And when I stopped doing that and I started actually sitting down and eating a meal, like a whole ass meal, taking 3 or 4 hours between the next time I ate, eating another meal, etc., I really started to see my body composition change. And this is because you're giving your body a chance to take a break from digestion and digesting to work on just burning fat. If you're constantly feeding yourself energy and calories, your body's constantly gonna be using those instead of using your fat reserves as energy. We wanna burn the fat reserves, so you need to have breaks between your meal times. So eating a really good meal that'll keep you full and satiated for 4 hours versus snacking, huge change for me, mentally, physically, everything. If you're not sure how to build your meals as a petite, I teach a PFF method, protein, fats, and fiber, and I'm teaching this in that free masterclass I mentioned. So if you just want a blueprint for a meal template as a petite, how to build the meal, come to that free class, save your seat below, you don't wanna miss it. I also give away an entire free macros workshop training if you attend and you show up live, and that's an hour and a half long. It's actually for sale on my website, but we give it to you for free after you attend. So don't miss out. RSVP. Okay, getting to the end here, number 19, bags of things versus individually packaged things. This was more just, I know it's not good for the environment, but it helped me and it could help you. Instead of buying bags of chocolate chips or bags of whatever, jars of peanut butter, and we already went over peanut butter, but I'd get the individual packets or the smaller bags or the individualized candies like chocolates, not a whole chocolate bar, but the mini ones. That helped me a lot with portion control, just rewiring my brain to understand what's a proper portion for me. Number 20 is eating out versus home cooked meals. I used to order in a lot, or my dinner would be I remember some nights back when I lived in New York City and I was 19, or I guess I was 21. Who knows anymore? I would just have chips and salsa for dinner because I just didn't really understand how to cook myself a meal. And I started cooking at home meals, and they're not complicated, okay? They just don't have to be that fancy. Just make sure you have a protein, a fat, and a fiber, and start cooking more at home meals because again, you order out, you can't control how they cook it, the oils they use, portion sizes, a bunch of things. Number 21, this was a personal one, but I'll share it anyways because I don't think there's a right answer for this. It's gonna depend on you, but I switched from evening workouts to morning workouts and I never went back. I find that if you get your stuff done in the morning, you have a mental freedom to enjoy the rest of your day and you're not worried or stressed about getting your workout in. This vastly changed things for me, and it also showed me that if I do something in the morning, that means it's important and I'm prioritizing it and I'm less likely to skip it. So overall, just like way less missed workouts, less excuses, and this has become, I'd say, a rule for me. Like, I am a morning girly. And I do think you can train yourself to be a morning person with practice. Number 22, our final one, was switching from an all or nothing mindset to a flexible or balanced mindset, especially when it comes to food. Instead of, going through a day, if I made a mistake, if I ate something that I wasn't gonna eat that day, or I, broke my meal plan or whatever it is, I used to say, well, F it, right? I already messed up, might as well eat everything bad in my kitchen since I have to go back on this healthy diet tomorrow. I have switched over to a much more balanced and flexible approach of letting myself know if I overeat or I indulge, hey, it's okay. Just go back to regular eating as soon as possible. You don't need to cardio it off. You don't need to run it off. You don't need to try to eat less now. Don't try to adjust. Just that's gonna backfire. So just flexible, balanced approach, self-compassion, and that mindset is a huge mindset that has changed over the last 10 years for me as well. So that was my 22 healthy or easy swaps to reverse skinny fat. Let me know if there's any swaps I left off that you want to share in the comments for our community. I think just picking a few of these to try for yourself could be really interesting and possibly really help you shed the fat that you're trying to shed, those last 5 pounds or your first 5 pounds. And let me know in the comments which ones you found the most helpful. And if you do want to work with me and my team of registered dietitians, accountability coaches, and personal trainers, we teach and work with only women 5'4" and shorter on their body recomposition goals in our 3-month program called Petite PWR Premium. The doors are open for our August session. You can apply below. You can book a call to talk with me or one of my team members, alumni of the program, or just join and sign up, and we will see you at the start date. You can also come to my free masterclass happening that I teach personally. I'd love to see you there. Other than that, if you can give this a thumbs up, you don't have to, but it's much appreciated. It helps me make more content for you guys, supports my channel. And other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye.